Welcome back. Hope you all had a wonderful fall break. So we have 4 goals that we're going to do this week. The first goal is we're going to be able to use the segment addition postulate to set up and solve geometric problems. Our second goal is to be able to name an angle. Our third goal is to be able to classify an angle. And our fourth goal is to be able to use the angle addition postulate to set up and solve geometric problems. All right, so starting with our segment addition postulate. So what the segment addition postulate tells us is that if we have a segment, okay, so we have segment AB here. All right, the first thing I tell students to do is to always identify what the entire thing is. And when you're doing these problems, the entire thing is going to be identified by this segment at the bottom that has the arrows and stuff. This is the whole thing. All right, so we say, okay, AB is equal to, and then what you want to do is see what other bits of segment information you have. So like we have AC here plus CB. Now this is going to be a lot easier once we get actual numbers and algebraic expressions involved. So let's go ahead and practice this. Looking at example 1, and this is, remember, this is a problem that's on your actual homework. It says find the indicated length. So the first thing we need to do is identify the whole thing. So our whole thing here is 7. So 7 is equal to, now let's see what else we know. We know 6 and we know question mark. 6 plus question mark. So we want to solve for our question mark. Now this is where you're going to do some algebra. That means we're going to do opposite operations. So we're going to subtract 6 from both sides to get the question mark by itself. And we learn that our question mark is equal to 1. Now, since this is a question on your actual homework, all you would type in your answer is 1. All right? I'm going to know if you watched the video or not, because some of you aren't going to type in the right answer, and you'll get it wrong. All right, moving on. Now, let's say we're still going to work with our segment addition postulate, but this time we have algebraic expressions. The same rule applies. First, identify what the entire thing is. So our entire thing is 22 plus x equals, now let's see what other information we know. We know 6 plus 27 plus 2x. All right, now we need to solve this one. First, we're going to simplify both sides. So this can't get any simpler. 22 plus x equals, these are like terms because they're both what we call constants. They're letters that don't have any numbers with them. So we're going to do 6 plus 27, which is 33, plus 2x. All right, now let's go ahead and combine like terms. So I want to move my x's together. I'm someone who likes to always take the small x to the bigger x, so I'm going to subtract x from this side. That leaves me with 22 equals 33. 2x minus x leaves us with just an x. All right, now we need to move that 33 over. We do that by subtracting 33 from both sides, which gives us that x equals negative 11. All right, since this is a question on your actual homework, all you do to type in your answer is just put negative 11. All right, now if you're someone who likes to do the constants and variables, with the line down the middle, you would still get the same answer if you did it that way. All right, goal number 2, naming angles. So remember, an angle looks a little something, something like this, and it usually contains 3 points. So there are 4 ways to name an angle. The first way is top to bottom. So that means we're going to start at the top of our angle and read to the bottom. So this would be angle, don't forget your symbol, A, B, C. The next way to name an angle is from bottom to top. So from the bottom, we read up C, B, A. All right, then you can also name it where it turns. So we're turning at B, so angle B. And then another way it can be named is if there's a number inside. So by the number, so we could say angle 1. All right, so here's how your homework questions are going to be set up. They're going to say, choose the incorrect name for this angle. So let's go ahead and write the 4 names for this angle. So let's go from top to bottom. So we have angle H, I, J, bottom to top, J, I, H. Where it turns, angle I, and its number, angle 1. So let's see. All right, angle I, that's a name. Angle 1 is a name. All right, let's see. Is J a name? It is not. So our answer would be A. Angle J is not the name. So that's goal number 2. Goal 3, classifying angles. So we have 4 classifications. The first one is acute. This is any time that it is less than 90 degrees. So if your degree is less than 90, so if it's like 1 degree to 89 degrees, it is considered acute. If it's a right angle, it is equal to 90. That is a right angle when it is equal to 90. Continuing on. Obtuse. Obtuse is whenever it is greater than 90. So if it is 91 to 179, that is obtuse. And straight is whenever it is equal to 180 degrees. All right. So, classifying angles, I'm just going to write a few different angle measures on here, and we're going to classify them. So, all right, 45 degrees. 45 is less than 90, so that would be acute. Okay, 180, okay, equal to 180, that is straight. 177, that is greater than 90, so that is obtuse. And 90, well, we have one that is equal to 90, that is right. So there are all of your angle classifications. All right, and our last goal for today, or for this week, is angle addition. This is a lot like, what color did I pick for goal 4? Purple. This is a lot like segment addition. It still has the same idea. Okay, so we're dealing with angles now. And just like with segment addition, again, the most important thing is to be able to identify the whole outside angle, the whole angle. So like this entire angle is angle ABC. That's what we have going on the outside, okay? Then we're talking about the 2 angles that are on the inside. This one here, that is angle ABD, plus this one here. This is angle DBC. Okay, again, it might seem complicated, but it is much easier when we start doing actual examples. So first, let's talk about if we're just finding an indicated angle. Just like before, the most important thing to do is to be able to identify the entire thing. So what I do is I go, okay, I'm going to draw on the outside of my angle. So my names are either going to be angle EDC or angle CDE. And I'm going to look up in the information to see if I can find that. So EDU, nope. EDC, yep, and I circle it. This is what the entire thing equals to. So I have 102 equals, and let's see what other information we know. We know 78 plus what we need to find, angle EDU. All right, so then how do we solve for EDU? We're going to do opposite operations here. So we're going to subtract 78 from both sides. And we get that the measure of angle EDU is equal to 124 degrees. I think so. You might want to check my math on that. Yeah. 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 Okay. So here's your final answer, 124. Again, this is an actual question on your homework. All right. Now, just like with our segment addition, we're also going to deal with algebraic expressions with our angle addition. So we're going to solve for x. Just like before, we need to identify the outside angle. So our outside angle here is angle TUV or angle VUT. So let's find that information. All right, VUT, that is one of our options. So I'm going to circle it. It's not always going to be the first thing. Sometimes it could be the last thing. So this is what everything is equal to. So 27x minus 6 is equal to, now the other bit of information we know, 130 plus 3x plus 8. Okay, just like with our segment addition, we need to simplify before we can solve. So I see we have some like terms over here. So I still have 27x minus 6 equals 3x, and then 130 plus 8 is 138. Then we're just going to do combining like terms with opposite operations, or if you like to, I can review variables and constants with you. So variables means anything with an x I'm going to put on the left side. So I already have 27 over here. I want to move this 3x over, so I'm going to make it opposite. So I'm done with those. Now my constants, I have 138 already over here. I want to move this negative 6, so I'm going to add it over here. Now we just simplify. So 27 minus 3 is 24x equals, and then 138 plus 6 would be 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. All right. Divide by 24, and you get x equals, let me see, okay, get x equals 6. So that would be your final answer. Again, this is also a question that is already on your homework, so you should already have those answers. If there are any questions, please feel free to message me on Remind or on Google Classroom. Just know that if it is past 8 o'clock, that I might not answer it till the next, or not 8 o'clock, if it's past 3 o'clock, I might not answer it till the very next day. All right, do not forget about the Google form, and do not forget to submit a proof of completion of your notes with a picture on Google Classroom. Thank you, guys.